Let me show you something a bit sad. These are some posters. You can see there's a few hundred here, and then a whole bunch of them more in here, all from Vistaprint. For one of my earliest workshops, this was back in 2020, I think. There I am, looking like a baby 4 years ago, or looking like some kind of weird Victorian ghost in this one. Basically, these were very early workshops that I gave 3-4 years ago. And I have all these posters left because it didn't work. Nobody wanted to come. So I've got this pile of shame of these workshop posters for a workshop that failed. But if we flash forward to 2024, you can see me here. This is at an international talk. I now fly around the world to give these talks. This one in particular is to a marketing department of about 150 people. For a company that's worth about $17 billion. So it's a long way from whatever this was multiple years ago. And here's the thing though, these things, they take time. I knew all those years ago, 4 years ago, that I wanted to get into workshops because it's a good way for me to educate en masse to a large group. But it's taken me multiple years to get to where I am now. That's been years of trying and failing to launch workshops and ending up with lots of piles of posters like the one I just showed you. The problem initially was that I was trying to do workshops on things that I thought was interesting. I wasn't actually finding out what my customers wanted, what people wanted workshops about. Instead, it was very self-centered. It was, this is the kind of workshop I'd like to go to. I think this would be useful for people. There wasn't any validation of the idea. It was just me and my thoughts, which is pretty egocentric. Everything started to shift once I tapped into demand that already existed. So I wasn't trying to make my own demand. I was instead finding what people already wanted and then going and providing that. So right now what businesses really want is help with artificial intelligence. I mean, obviously I'm biased here because this is what I educate and what I talk about. But still, there is a massive demand coming from companies just to sort out what they're doing with artificial intelligence. They need an expert to come in and tell them, these are the options, this is what's available, this is what you should be worried about, this is what you can do with it. Really basic stuff. And if you watch these kind of AI videos or you're in AI spaces, these stuff that we talk about in workshops might seem very basic to you. But that's the level that companies right now need. And this is why gigantic consulting firms like McKinsey have now got 40% of their business in generative AI. Because companies need advice, they need consultancy, they need implementation work, and they need help. So my recommendation is you follow where the demand already is. Again, you don't try and carve out your own demand. That's really hard to do, but instead you find problems that people already have and you help them to solve them. So my hourly rate is now $1,500 to $1,500 per hour for a workshop minimum, with larger groups going up to about $4,000 per hour. Because there's so much demand globally at the moment, it's pretty much every business needs this. I now get too many requests for me to personally be able to give the workshop. And it's for this reason that I now license out all of my workshop material. If you are interested in getting a copy of my workshop material, there's an application form in my link. The next cohort is starting on Monday, so this weekend is the deadline, and the link is in the bio.